everyone, welcome to the video. I'm Amy and I post new videos every week. Today's video is a very exciting one. It's been long coming for like a long time, and that is my inventory. I have been wanting to do an inventory of my collection for such a long time, and I have finally done it. So that is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about all the numbers of how many blushes and bronzers and eyeshadows and all of that I have, and give you an overview of what they look like. I didn't go into each and individual product, but I do have photos of the whole collection as a whole. And then I am also going to be giving myself kind of goals, and maybe we'll check in like 6 months and see where I am at. If I get too busy, maybe it'll be the end of the year. I have no clue. Let me know what you want, because whatever you want is going to reign supreme. If you want to see an update in 6 months, that is what I'll do, because you guys are like my parents now. You get to tell me what to do. So if that sounds like something you're into, go ahead and like this video so I know you like it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Alright guys, I have my notebook in front of me, and I've been watching a lot of Hannah Louise posting recently, and I don't know if you know me or Hannah, we are not the same. She likes to be... well, maybe we are more like the same, because she loves enjoying her stuff, but maybe she's like me in 5 years. You know, like she has gotten over the past couple of years such a head around her collection in collections of her whole life, right? And how she feels about things, and listening to her talk has really made me want to think about my things a little bit more, and why I'm buying things and what that means to me personally. She's like my own psychiatrist or therapist, but she doesn't know it. Don't tell her. That would be weird. But that is kind of what this whole inventory thing like was making me think of, was Hannah, to where I have always talked about how I am a maximalist. This is a large collection, especially for someone who only started wearing makeup 5 years ago. I haven't been doing this for a very long time, and I've only started my YouTube like 1.5 years ago, so it's not like a lot of this has accumulated just because of my channel. A lot of this is stuff that I already had and or would have purchased regardless of having a channel. There are a few things that I picked up specifically for my channel to review and or to have a whole collection from one brand kind of thing. But overall, a lot of this is genuinely what I would have made purchases on anyway. So it's like, I need to dig a little deeper into that. So you're going to see some of these numbers, and they're going to be a lot. My collection, not yours. My house, not yours. If you don't like it, you don't buy this much. You don't have this much, okay? I'm going to tell you kind of my goals and aspirations for this as I go throughout, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But I will say, ever since making this list and having these numbers, it has already curbed my spending over the last week or so. Like already just knowing the total number of things that I own has lessened my spending. It has had a positive impact on me in that way. So I suggest, even if you don't want to go further and dig deeper and anything like that, just counting the number of things that you have in any, like, you know, if you think you have too many sweaters or too many pairs of shoes or whatever, instead of thinking of it as like, no, I have culminated this collection over years and it's perfect and I don't need to think about it, count them, because it really made me think about it a little bit more and hold back when I'm hitting checkout. It's made me hold back a little bit when I go to hit checkout. So I just wanted to throw that out there before we get into that, because I just think that was a really positive thing. I did want to do an inventory last year at the beginning of the year, and I started to, and I was counting all of my things, but my downfall was that I was trying to make a spreadsheet of every single item that I own, and it became way too big of a project. This time, I'm letting you know right now, I don't have a list of everything that I own. I have counts. I have this many foundations, this many concealers, this many, I did not go in and write down and make sure that I have every single one notated. I do want to do that eventually, but it became like way too big of a task. And the further I waited, the more it grew. And the more I tried, the more it grew. And it was just like way too overwhelming. So that is what you're going to get here. It's just numbers and also a picture of what those numbers look like. So now let's actually get into the numbers. I want to go in a beautiful order that makes sense, but what I'm going to have to do is just the way that I wrote this down, because I don't have a pen near me to be able to cross up what I've talked about, and I don't want to miss anything. For foundations, I have 94 foundations in my collection for this one face, and I have 9 samples as well. I have a lot of foundations because foundations is one of my favorite categories. Foundation and eyeshadow are my favorite categories, and you're going to see that here in a second. And I'm at the point now where like I have a YouTube channel, so I want to use or mention or rank in some way the foundations that I have before I declutter them, but I will be finally decluttering my collection this year. Every time that I've done my declutter series on my channel, I have skipped over foundations for this reason. So I just need to get a little bit more organized with what I'm doing in that regard. And then once I have talked about them and swatched them on camera and they're living on my channel, there will be some that I can finally get rid of. So my goal is still a lot, but 70. So my goal is 70 foundations. I want to only keep 70 foundations in my collection. So we'll see. Primers. I split up primers, face and eyes. So that's separate. So face primers. Now remember, like if you don't know me, hi, my name's Amy and I rarely use primer. I have 22 face primers. Now, there are quite a few minis and samples and little freebies that I got in orders in there too, so I need to figure out what I want to do with that. But my goal is going to be 10 primers. Concealers. Recently if you watch my channel, you've heard me talk about how this year I really want to make videos about concealers because I have so many concealers, and that is very true. I have 32 concealers. And the idea is the same for that I had for the foundations. I really want to get a sense of how I feel, get something solid posted on my channel so that I have some reference for you guys as well as myself in the future to stop me from buying another concealer or foundation that I've already tried, or to make me buy it again later if I want it. So I have 32 and my goal is 20. Anything that comes in a spray bottle I put together, regardless of if it's specifically for setting your makeup or for priming your face or whatever. I just put it all in the same. I have 7. This is a category, again, that I don't use very often. So my goal is 4. Powder bronzers. I did split up my powders and creams because I really truly think of them in different ways and would consider them different. So I have 7 powder bronzers currently, and I would like to get down to 5. And I also have 7 cream bronzers right now, and I would also like to get down to 5 for those. Now blush. Blush is a category, again, that I have a lot of. For powder blushes, I currently have 17. I would like to get that number to 15. I love blush. I know that I love blush. I use blush a lot. I use multiple formulas of blush in one look. So I'm doing these numbers based on me and how I interact with my collection. So that one is, I don't really feel bad about 17, but once you add on the other blushes that I have in cream and liquid formula, I'm like, you know what? I could go down to 15. Like 15 seems like a good number for me at this point in my life. And so cream blushes, I currently have 12 of, and I would like to get down to 10 of those. And then liquid blushes, I actually currently have 10. And I think I'm fine with that number. Now again, when I get to it at the end of the year or middle and whenever I do my declutter series, it's not going to stop me from getting rid of one. You know, I'm not going to be like, well, I can have 10, so I might as well just keep them. I will still declutter if I find that I need to declutter, you know. Powder highlights, I currently have 8, and I feel like that's a really good number for me. I swatched them all on my arm, and I really feel like there are enough variations in the formula and the color, high-end versus affordable, that it makes me feel comfortable to just keep it at 8. As far as cream and liquid highlights, I currently have 5, and I would like to go down to 4 in that. And I think that I can't remember off the top of my head because I did this like a week ago. Sorry. But I do think that was because there was one in my cream and liquids that I was like, I could get rid of this one. So that would be why I went down there. All right, for pressed powders, I currently have 6, which in my last declutter series, I did get rid of quite a few powders because I have dry skin, and somehow I'm at 6. So I would like to get to 4. I know for a fact 1 or 2 like immediately came to my brain that I was like, I'm keeping these. So I need to figure out what are the other 2 there. For loose powders, I currently have 3, and the 3 that I have fit perfectly in their different categories. I have 1 great affordable one, 1 great high-end one, and both of those are good for my whole face, including my under eyes. And then I have another great high-end one that is really good for like my face and not my under eyes. And especially when it comes to high-end products, it's like I don't want to get rid of something that I want to repurchase later. Like I'd rather use it up and then repurchase. You know what I mean? Like, why would I waste that money? For my eyeliners and shadow sticks, I currently have 24, and I would like to get that down to 20. As I'm working to get down to that 20, I might readjust and lower it later on when I do this again, because I have started growing my collection of eyeshadow sticks. So there's that to combat. So, and I don't use eyeliners that much, but then there's like specific looks. So I need to refine that a little bit. But my current goal is going to be 20. And then eye primers. Earlier I told you that face primers and eye primers were separate. So for eye primers, I currently have 8. And I don't know if you know this, but I almost never prime my eyes. So my goal for that is going to be lower it down to 4. I currently have 7 mascaras. There are a couple of them that are on their last leg, and not all of them are open either. This is like all the mascaras in my collection. I would like to have my max be 4 mascaras in my collection, have 1 or 2 open, 1 or 2 either backup or another thing that I want to try kind of situation. But I think 4 is going to be my goal for that. For lip liners, my current is 43. I had like a little bit of a lip liner moment where I was like, I need to find the perfect nude. And then I bought every nude shade that I could find. And then I liked 1 or 2 and then have kept using them and then haven't really used the rest. So my goal is going to be 30. It might be less than that. I do want to do like I want to get myself a full understanding of all of them, how they last, how they wear, how they act, what the colors are like, if there are dupes in there. Like I have both high-end and affordable in there, so I want to do that this year. Lip glosses. If you follow me, you may notice that that is one of my favorite kind of lip products. I have 31, and I literally just did a lip declutter, and my goal is 20. I will be taking no questions at this time. Thank you. Clear lip balms. I have 30. And my goal is 20. Tinted lip balms. I currently have 19. And my goal is 15. Bullet lipsticks. I currently have 26. and my goal is 20. And then liquid lipsticks, my current is 12 and my goal is 8. Now you may think, it's 2022. What do you want with a liquid lipstick? Well, baby, I put my, like, what do they call them? They're like satiny liquid lipsticks where they don't dry down matte. I kept those in that category because they're that kind of formula. And I have some really great colors of those that I love. And then also reds. I still would like to keep a few red liquid lipsticks. All right, for face palettes, I currently have 4, and I'm just going to keep it at 4. There were none that I really felt like I felt good with those 4. You know, there were none where I was like, this is just an extra kind of thing. So 4, I'm good with that. Brow gels, waxes, creams, etc. I currently have 9. My goal is to have 5. Brow pens, pencils. I currently have 4. And my goal is 4. I feel like I'm good with 4. I have a few different colors to go with my hair. So there's that. And then different formulas as well. And then my eyeshadows, guys. Are you ready to talk about the eyeshadows? I watched Tara's, hold on, I need to drink water. I recently watched Tara do her inventory, Tara Brooke. And I think it was her. In her comments, no, maybe it wasn't her. Maybe it was her. Who else did I watch? I don't remember. Someone that I was watching was saying like that they have too much eyeshadow. Maybe it was Kelly? It might have been Kelly. Actually, now that I'm thinking of it. It might have been Kelly. Kelly Gooch. She was talking about hers and she wasn't quite sure how to break them up. Should she just do all of her eyeshadow palettes? Should she do all high-end, all drugstore? Should she count the pans? All of that. So I was in the same predicament. I was like, first of all, I thought I would just be able to count them all. I pulled them out and I was like, I cannot fit these all in a picture. Like, there's no way I can count all of these. And it seemed legit. You know, it would just be like way too big of a number to grasp my head around. So I have broken these up. So I have minis, which is 5 shadows or less. I currently have 22 mini eyeshadow palettes. If that tells you where this is going. My goal is to have 20. These don't take up a lot of space. I do have quite a variety of them, so I don't feel like I would have a lot of duplicates. I feel like 20 is a good start for me to start thinking about capping or controlling my collection a little bit. And then I have what I'm calling mids, which are 6 to 9 pans. I was trying to do like 6 to 15 pans, but I have way too many to be doing 6 to 15. So 6 to 9, I have 23 currently, and my goal again is going to be 20. And then I have big palettes, which are 10 to 14, and this one includes all of my Mothership palettes. That's where I had to kind of break it up because I was like, I have all of my Mothership palettes here too. So 10 to 14, I have 23 currently, and my goal is 20. And then what I am calling XL palettes is anything 15 pans or above. I currently have 14 and my goal is 10. I don't typically reach for those huge palettes, but I do like to keep them around because I like the variety that come in them, and those are some of my more colorful palettes are in that section. So my goal is 10. And then for singles and duos, which also includes like my actual like single pans. I didn't put those with my palettes. I put them here in my actual singles. So singles, duos, anything that comes in its own little case or is in a bigger, like a Z palette, magnetic palette. I have currently 72. I think I should probably separate those because singles in the magnetic palette I think of more like an eyeshadow palette, whereas singles and duos in their own little capsule I think of more so as a one and done shadow. So they are different categories in my brain, but this was the very last thing that I counted and I was like, I'm just putting these all together. So I have 72. My current goal is going to be 60, and then second goal on that is going to be to split those up. I thought since I actually do have quite a few single shadows that go in magnetic palettes, and I want to use my eyeshadow a little bit more this year, I might try to do a few, like creating a palette from my singles situation, or maybe recreating released palettes that I want to help a little bit more of curbing that appetite of purchasing. So that is the goal for 2022. If you haven't caught on, it's a little bit more use the makeup you own, understand and love the makeup you own. There still, of course, will be new makeup, especially foundations, found on this channel, because that is like one of my favorite things to try and review and make YouTube videos for. So be on the lookout for those. But also, if you have any ideas, like I was thinking even like eyeshadow palette bingo type things. I know they're not like very searched for on the internet, but I think if I find my right people, then they would be interested in watching me make the best of my collection and use and reuse. Or if there's like an eyeshadow palette that you know that I have that you want to see me use on this channel, let me know down below. Any kind of video ideas related to kind of using my collection, let me know. I'd love to hear it. I definitely want to be doing more of that this year. But yeah, that is my entire makeup collection inventory for the year 2022, starting out January real strong with some real big numbers. I do not, as you saw, I didn't go down like 20, 30 products. I was only going down like 5 products for each thing, and not even all of them went down. So I think all of that just to say, I really do like my collection as it stands. I just am trying to be more realistic with myself on what I can use within my collection as a single individual human, as well as help curb some of my spending habits and addiction. So if you have any thoughts, questions, concerns, video ideas, anything like that, let me know in the comments. I will meet you down there and we can chat about it. I'd love to hear your video ideas, honestly. Let me know what you want to see. But yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out so much. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!